Hello, I'm Nicole, and this is the Phenomenal Woman series. My guest today has a master's degree in management studies, which specializes in marketing. She also is a recipient of a Canadian government scholarship where she went to Canada to undertake additional studies. She's the owner of her boutique marketing firm, Alist Curation, and she hails from the Twin Island Republic. My guest today is Adanna Swan. Welcome, Adanna. It's so nice to have you. Tell us, who is Adanna Swan?
Adanna Swan is a creative person, a passionate person. I love traveling and finding out about new cultures. I'm also someone who loves education and educating myself in different things, not just academically, but also, having a lot of other skills as well that could enrich a person. For me, my professional career started in banking and business, and due to that I went into marketing and also branding, and working with those industries in the last 4 years, I've realized that there are smaller businesses as well that need the services that I do for larger companies, and that has inspired me actually to start my business, Alist Curations. It is a consulting firm that aims to help female entrepreneurs brand their business. You can also follow me at Alist Curation on IG as well. I would say that working in market research, being in branding, being in marketing has definitely enriched me as a person. It has made me very curious. It has also made me very happy to learn about other people, and especially having that experience of winning a scholarship, going to Montreal a few years ago. It allowed me to immerse myself in a new culture and really learn about new people, try new things.
Adanna, your background is in market research and you've assisted several Caribbean brands in positioning themselves for the consumers. You've recently started your own brand strategy firm, Alist Curation. Tell us, what is the meaning behind the name, first of all, and tell us, why did you venture into business on your own?
Yes, Nicole, I'm glad that you asked that. Alist Curation, I'll take it from the second part of the name first. When you're curating something, you're not just picking a bunch of things haphazardly. When you're curating, it's like being an art director. Everything that is chosen is done for a purpose. And as a brand strategist, I am collecting and carefully orchestrating certain elements of your brand for you. And I must do so with a vision, and everything must come together seamlessly. So even though you may have some thoughts about your brand and what it should look like, I'm going to let you know, do these elements that you're choosing, do they fall in line with your brand voice? Do they fall in line with your brand aesthetic? Those are things that you have to think of, and as a curator, I would help guide you in creating your flawless and seamless brand image. Now, A-list, it's a kind of a play on words because, of course, my name is Adana, so it starts with A. And A-list, really, when you think of an A-list celebrity or A-list person, an A student, you think of someone at the top of their game. And everyone that decides that they want to have a brand, they definitely are someone who is playing the A-list game. And when it is that you decide that you are setting yourself apart and you are defining your brand, whether it be a personal brand, a brand for a business, that is something that definitely allows you to stand apart from your competition. It totally blasts your competition away. So A-list curation is something that makes people know that I am choosing with you, I am choosing along with you to define and craft an image that would set you apart from your competition. And it's not just an image. As a curator, you also have to learn to look for things like your brand's voice, your brand's aesthetic, your brand's mood. What's the tone that you get from when you have a brand like this? So, that those are the things that come into me choosing the name Alist Curation. I've always enjoyed business. I've always enjoyed doing business with others. Personally, I've also had smaller business ventures before I dove into corporate life within Trinidad and Tobago. And I've always missed that dealing with customers one-on-one, forming that relationship. So that is why I decided, with my expertise, it's time to go back in, but go back in with more knowledge and more of a defined purpose in what I would like to do. And this thing about brand strategy is something that is fairly new to the Caribbean space. And I thought, why not bring it just to the Caribbean, but also extend those services to professionals who traditionally may not have needed a brand. But now, because of increased competition, almost everyone, I would say everyone, needs a brand. And who better to do it than someone who understands the market, who understands human behavior and also the trends within the market. Who better to help you craft your brand and help you to present yourself and get a clear message out to your ideal customer.
Adanna, you're the recipient of a Canadian government scholarship as a woman of color, particularly one from the Caribbean. What was the experience like?
This is one of the more adventurous periods of my lifetime. I had signed up for this scholarship on a whim. I didn't really plan ahead in terms of saying, like, the year before I went to Canada, I had no indication that I would even be going. So the opportunity arose and I ended up winning the scholarship. Now, when I won, I started to think, wow, this is going to be the first time that I'm going to be away from my friends, my family, my parents. And I just thought to myself, could I do this? Because I'd never been to Canada previously. I've also never encountered winter. So even though I had traveled before, I'd never seen winter and I had never lived abroad for any extended period of time. I was very nervous about that. However, when I arrived, I found that the people were very welcoming in Quebec. And the people, they were eager to teach me French. They were eager to learn about me and my culture and being a Caribbean person. Now, being a Caribbean woman, especially, I took so many things for granted. Almost everything that I did over there, the way that I spoke, the way that I dressed, people people would appreciate that and they would be marveled by it. And since then, I had learned to really take into account the special things that we have as Caribbean people.
Adana, what three things makes a woman phenomenal?
That's a good question, Nicole. Three things that make a woman phenomenal. I would say the first thing that makes a woman phenomenal is self love. You know, as women, we care for other people, we have a lot of responsibilities, and sometimes we forget ourselves a lot. So, having that love for yourself and taking care of yourself is one of the great things to making a woman phenomenal. And even when you do that, you help other people because you are enriched and you are fulfilled. Boundaries and the ability to say no. That is something that's very big for us women. Having to say no to the people that we love at times. Sometimes it could be so hard, but that is something that I believe is important for everyone to do to protect yourself and also to protect your peace. Sometimes we know we would want to help others, but we can't because there are things that we need to keep for ourselves. So I would say boundaries is the second one. Having the ability and the confidence to say no. The third thing, having a passion. Having something as a woman that you could express yourself and show your talent, also show your love through creativity, through a hobby. It could be something that maybe is a business, a side hustle that you could express yourself through. I think that is something that is very important in making a phenomenal woman.
March 8 is celebrated universally as International Women's Day. I want to focus on the relationship that women have with each other. What do you think are some of the challenges that we face as a collective, and what do you see us doing more so that we can assist each other in helping to build our sisterhood?
Well, Nicole, it is very important for us women to support one another. And I just want to commend you on doing a series like this. It's something that showcases us women, and it shows that women supporting women and also highlighting the things that we do, not only personally but professionally. That is something I definitely commend you and appreciate you for asking to speak with me today on. Now, with supporting women, I would definitely say that this is something that's important. It's necessary for women of all races, ages, to come together and look at one another and cheer each other on. We don't always need to agree or be unified in our way of thinking about things, but the respect for each other is definitely important in terms of supporting one another. As Caribbean women, I think that we definitely have a special fire about us. We are persons that we're a group that we could go anywhere, we could accomplish anything. If you go in any part of the world, you see a Caribbean person there. Caribbean women definitely have that je ne sais quoi, I would say. However, within our region, certain things such as violence towards women is something that has kind of cast an atmosphere of fear, worry. There's also the worry of, will this go on for future generations? Will the younger ones learn from the mistakes that have been made in the past? And I think that is something that we definitely need to address and have an open conversation about.
You lead a busy professional life, but you also make time for yourself. You recently started hobbies such as yoga, and you have other interests. Tell us, how important is it for the professional woman to balance her time?
Yes, so I recently added yoga to my repertoire of things that I like to do to relieve stress. So before, of course, going out to eat with my friends is one of my favorite things to do. Traveling, but in terms of the day-to-day things that I would do to keep myself, in good spirits and being balanced. Of course, prayer, meditation, that spiritual connection is so important for me. Growing up and being taught to pray daily from my mother is something that I cherish. I also have observed that a lot of the women that I look up to, they also say that they pray and they meditate. So getting that mind right. As well, doing exercise, a good, nice, brisk walk, a run, a hearty run is something that I thoroughly enjoy. And it keeps me grounded, it keeps me active, it keeps me, lively. Because sitting down every day at a desk, that takes a toll on your body. You may think that you're resting, but I find that it's very stressful in terms of you get up, you feel cramped, you feel weighed down by so many other factors. So that internal recalibration of getting your mind, body, and your spirit in order is the most valuable thing that you have as a woman. Professional women, we tend to get engulfed in work, but I've always heard people say that the work will always be there. When you finish something, there's always a big project coming. There's always more transactions coming in for you to clear out. The work will always be there, but will you be? I've had some reminders of that over the years as a professional. Sometimes you go to the doctor and you're like, what is wrong with me? And you think that they're going to prescribe some sort of medicine, and all that they really have for you is take a rest. So I've learned the hard way quite a few times. So what I would say is that just keeping that rest is so important. Not just exercise and things like that, but rest. It is extremely important, and I have learned that balance, that is key. Because we as women, as I said, you get so wrapped up in others, and it's a beautiful thing that we're very communal. But just taking that time to balance and do something for you and keep you in check is the most valuable thing that you have.
Adanna, you've imparted such words of wisdom and inspiration for other women. You venture out on your own to start your own business. You took that risk, and we are absolutely proud of you. You're also highly accomplished, and you also make time for social events and social activities in your life, not just the profession, but also having a wonderful, balanced life. Before we go, tell us what makes Adanna Swan of Trinidad and Tobago a phenomenal woman.
What makes me a phenomenal woman is my zest for life. I definitely like experiencing new things, meeting new people, having fun. There's something about life that I just feel like I must uncover every stone. It's no level is the highest level. There's always higher to go, and I'm always striving for something new. I'm always grateful for what I have and that the people that love me, but I'm always looking for, what next could I do? Who next could I meet? What new experiences I could have to enrich myself?